Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to my new segment. This is the third time I've been making this intro because for some reason my recording software just doesn't want to cooperate with me. So let's just hope it works today. This will be a bit different than what my returning fans are used to, considering this is no longer random funny moments, and instead it's going to be helpful guides slash analytic reviews. Uh, Sorry to Easy Peasy Aimbot in advance. He's getting my first commentary VOD review in a very long time. But regardless, let's jump right into it. Easy Peasy Aimbot is level 16. He's not ranked, obviously. And he doesn't have a keystone, which confused me at the beginning because I didn't realize he was level 16. So I was just staring at his masteries on op.gg until I finally got the hint that he's not a high enough level to have a keystone. This is Easy Peasy's question to me. I think I struggled early game sometimes if I tried to get kills, and mid game where I don't want to farm because it's unsafe, but I also didn't really know what else to do. I've recently bought Twitch and I'm still figuring him out, but do you think roaming a lot is a good idea, or should I focus on farming? Are my item choices any good? What do you think is my biggest weakness on Twitch / general ADC stuff? What can I do early game to not get zoned off from the minions against an early game enemy? And where should I be warding early game so I don't die? Let's cut these questions off in chunks. I'm gonna start with where you should be warding early game so that you don't die. Okay. So pretty much, obviously your jungler is gonna start here. Do this, then here, then go over here and finish here. By the time he gets here, he's level 3. Most junglers start bot side, but if you want to be safe, and let's say the jungler started top side for once on the enemy team, just look at your jungler's level. If your jungler's level 3, that means that their jungler will probably be in this area if you started top side. If he starts bot side, they might also cheese you. So instead, if he starts over here, he may just go here, then cheese you automatically. But most people don't do that. The only people that normally do are are level 2 people. So that'd be J4, Lee Sin. Fuck it. Anybody with a good level 2 will tend to do this tactic to catch you off guard. So pretty much, you want to use your trinket here. I'd say about the 3-minute mark. That's really all you have to do, and then you and your support just keep switching. Once your trinket runs out, your support puts his trinket down, unless he uses it in the bush. If you have no vision in this area whatsoever, like none, you let these two push you in. Just to recap. Alright. On average, both junglers will start bot side. So they will go this way, then over here, then over here, and then normally gank top or just back. So your jungler will do the same thing. This is the normal path, but there are multiple things that the enemy can do to catch you off guard. The enemy can start top that exact same path and end up bot side for a gank. This normally happens around the 3-minute mark because your jungler will have the same exact route, but in a different path. I personally like to put down a ward in this area once I see my jungler hit level 3. Once he hits level 3, I know their jungler is level 3, and that's normally when junglers decide to gank. Now, there's variations of that. If their jungler is a Lee Sin or a Jarvan, he can do a level 2 cheese. And that's when they either take their Krugs or red buff or both and go bot instantly. If it's Jarvan or Lee Sin, I recommend sitting back until you see them in a different lane like mid or top. Or wait till your jungler's level 3 and do the same word I've been saying. That's really early. That's really it for early game warding to stay alive. Later game, I know you only asked for early game, but let's say you lose this tower. If your support's smart, okay, let's say it's 10 minutes into the game. If your support is smart and he follows a normal support warding path, he'll put a ward here. He'll put one here. And he'll put a pink either here or somewhere in your jungle. His third ward will go either there or just over here. Now, with these wards, you really don't have to worry too much. You have most things covered at this point. You want to play to where you're the safest. So, where you don't have vision is where you want to be careful. So if you have vision here and then your support's ward is killed in this bush, you want to be playing in this area. You don't want to cross that line. If you cross this line at all, it's so much easier for their jungler to come out here and just run past this ward and kill you. Hopefully you understand that. Let's get into your second question. What can I do early to not get zoned off from minions against an early game enemy? Alright. So I'm assuming you're going to be playing Twitch. Let's pretend that your Twitch Janna versus Kate Karma. They have a really strong early game. And you guys have nothing early game. Unless you two can outtrade them, you have nothing. So pretty much a good Kate Janna, a good Kate Karma. Karma will get the advantage by sitting in this bush, meaning you guys have to instantly back up. And the ADC will stay in this area farming. At this point, you don't go up to farm unless there's a minion wave in front to where karma can't hit you. And you have to keep pivoting in between the ADC range and the minions. That way you take the least amount of damage from Caitlyn and you can keep farming. In this type of lane, the best bet is to move all the way back around here towards your turret and try to freeze right there. Because they can't really poke you too well. And if they want to come up and farm, your jungler, well, if they want to come up and farm, they're going to have to be in this area the entire time. And your jungler can just come around and easily gank them. That's what you want to do. Versus an early game like that, you pretty much just want to learn how to freeze the lane and take the harass. There's not much more you can do at that point. Unless you get really good with Twitch and learn how to 2v2 outtrade, there's not much more. So, bottom line for this is you should really be looking into a video that'll teach you how to freeze the lane and how to take the least amount of damage while farming. I will put a link somewhere in the annotations and probably in the description below if you're on mobile. Just to help you out a bit. Alright, let's move on to the next question. It says, are your items any good? Let's see. I'm gonna review your your 53 farm game because that's really bad. You have 2.6 farm a minute. For the most part, ADCs really want 60 to 70 farm every 10 minutes. So you have about 20 farm. Hold on, I may have done that math completely wrong. No, you have about 20 farm every 10 minutes. So you're about 40 farm off from the minimum you should have. Let me look at your build. Yeah, you really didn't have much for me to go off of here. You have no money. Okay, I can't watch that game. I'll watch this game. Because you actually did get it. 53 minutes, though. I'm gonna end up skipping around this game. Hope you don't mind. I want your build path. How do I get more information on your game? Completely forget. Whatever, fuck it. Here. So, I'll compare you to the pros builds. Yeah. Yumu's Runins. You almost always want. No, not almost. You always want Yumu's first. Then Runins. There's no trading that out. Your third item, if you're getting destroyed, it can be Bloodthirster. But for the most part, I would just go Infinity Edge. Berserker Greaves, fine. Mercurial Scimitar. There's not really many people you need it for, honestly. You can debate whether or not you need it for Kale. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong team. Okay. Morgana's a bit more understandable. Slash Vars. But at the same time, if they don't layer their ult and Q on top of you, you just wasted your Mercurials. If they're smart enough and Morgana Qs, then you Mercurials and then Varus ults, you're fucked. Other than that, I agree. That's fine. Your build is fine. Your Guardian's Angel, I wouldn't pick up. You only did 25,000 damage. And that is really not the greatest. Compared to your other teammates, KL 45, Trundle 23, and he was basically full tank. And Garen 22, he was full tank as well. Morgana did more damage than you. Varus did more damage than you. Master Yi and 129,000 damage coming out of this Yasuo. I can't tell if that's just the game. I mean, OP.GG messing up, or if that's real. Because if it's real, I feel bad for you. Yeah. Your Guardian's Angel. Most of the time, you'd get Guardian's Angel if you're doing a lot of damage and they need that second ADC to come back and start to do more. But you're one of the lowest damage dealers on the team right now. You're not getting very many autos off. So I disagree with that item. If anything, just get more lifesteal. Alright. So here, this game, Yumu's great. Ronin's great. Berserker Group's great. Then you're supposed to go IE. From there, it's really dependent. Mercurials is understandable. Just watch out for them holding their stuns until until you use your Mercurials. So if Morgana Qs, you use Mercurials, and then Varus ults, you're basically wasting your Mercurials. From there, you already have 5 items. I drop the Guardian's Angel and get a Bloodthirster. Or a Blade. That's really up to you at that point. I definitely would rather a Bloodthirster though, because Bloodthirster helps out a lot more with assassins. That's pretty much it for your build. What other questions did you have here? Considering that you're only level 16, let me look at your matches. If you really wanted to play ADC, I would recommend more Ashe games. I would have purchased Caitlyn and Tristana. Tristana is really good late, has a pretty decent early. Ashe is really good late, has a pretty decent early. Caitlyn is a monster early, falls off middle, and then starts to come back late game. She definitely falls off a bit more than the other 2 ADCs I told you about, but those are the 3 easiest and I'd say best ADCs for somebody at your skill level. Because right now at low elo, there's a lot of really, really late game oriented champions that are needed to be played. Your games go on for so long, and you need those late games to do so much damage in those team fights. Twitch has a really bad lane, and he really only scales if you farm and get kills, which requires you to be really good with him or really good at team fighting and have good positioning. But considering you're 8 and 11 this game, I I don't really think you have too great a positioning, if I'm going to be honest with you. All right. Let's jump right into the game. Do you think roaming a lot is a good idea, or should I focus on farming? I honestly like your attitude. You're asking a bunch of good questions for level 16, and you seem to want to improve a lot. I'm not sure how you know so much about the game already, but I'm impressed. You should not be roaming that much, like a lot, like you asked. Roaming should be very minimal. You can help out your jungler if he's caught out in river, though. You can help out your mid laner if they're getting ganked and you have enough time to go there. But I do not recommend just roaming for no reason. Leave that up to the support. I'm sorry, your game actually worked when it told me it wasn't going to work. So I reviewed another game that I was. Right. So this is not the Morgana game. This is the game where you. That's not it. This one. You have 53 farm and only 5,000 damage. You've. I don't know why the damage is so low throughout the game in general. Your support has so much more damage than everybody. And is this a mid Caitlyn? Anyway. Sorry, let me go back. Alright, so here's the first problem. You should really be in your jungle. You shouldn't be letting them do this. Take out this. Pretty much, you should be here. And in your ELO, there should be a ward. Fuck. Alright, you know the gist. You're supposed to be in that bush. And there should be a ward in this area. Or just place one in this area and cover that. Because now, if you did start bot side, or if your jungler did start bot side, you'd be dead. Just right off the bat. They invaded, you have no vision, you'd be dead. Thankfully, you did not start bottom. You got lucky. Alright. Speed this up. Oh. That's the first problem. There, you do make them miss some minions, but at the same time, they have the advantage now. You guys are falling back, and they have all of this room, leaving you pretty much defenseless. Because I'm assuming you're scared of Blitzcrank, and neither of you really want to come up. I also see why you're afraid of Blitzcrank. You should be hiding behind your minions so that he can't hit you. Right now you're in a bush with a huge lane of emptiness like that. You got pulled. It was an obvious pull. Now you're too scared to come up and farm. Sivir has an excellent early game. Blitzcrank has a pretty good early game. But they should not be harassing you and bullying you like you're letting them do right now. You're pretty much throwing out your W for no reason. It should be used in the middle of a fight or to get a fight started so that you can slow them and get your poison procs. But instead, you're just tossing it out as some form of harass, which is really wasting your mana. You can auto her. Okay. You could have autoed her a few more times. And your poison would have done a lot. Especially if you hit E and procced it. You're going invisible again? Okay. Your invisibility gives you attack speed as well. So, you shouldn't really be going invisible for no reason. If anything, you should be going invisible to fight. Like, your Yasuo was looking to initiate something, and you were just sitting back and farming, which is basically killing him in the end. He's actually doing a pretty decent job. Not sure where you're going. You're missing a lot of farm and XP right now. You're gonna get pulled? Yeah. Good heal. You can turn. You can... yeah. You could have turned earlier. And not make Yasuo do all the work. At this point, you're pretty much just allowing Yasuo to do everything. It's not a bad thing. If you win, you win. But that's definitely not going to help you improve in the same sense. Alright, it's time for this act. Coming back to lane. You go invisible. Okay. You canceled an auto that would have given poison procs on Sivir. So, ultimately you lost that trade. Xin gets pulled in. You should... Okay, there you go. I was about to... You guys are still fighting. I'm not sure where you're going. They just got an easy kill because you decided to run. And I'm pretty sure she's going to kill you as well. Yeah. You should be turning a lot sooner. Your support is probably getting furious now because he's actually doing pretty well. But if anything, you play really passive and are too scared to even come up and farm. Which does not help your support. I'm not sure why it's not sticking with you. I wish it would. Yeah. You shouldn't be afraid to farm here. Like, you can turn this. You don't need to go invisible to turn it. That ult wasn't really necessary either. Alright. Well, I think I've seen enough. So pretty much my end verdict is you play very passively. You don't know the limits of Twitch, and you don't know lane matchups. You often get way too scared in 1v1s or 2v2s that you can win. Twitch needs the auto attacks and then E proc. Like that, there you go. You need to just sit back, auto attack, and proc your E. If you have an extended fight versus the Sivir, you'll win. But she can burst you faster than you can burst her. You use your abilities often when they're not necessary. There you go. You got the kill. You shouldn't have healed, but you got the kill. You're starting to understand Twitch a bit more, as I can see. But yeah, hope this helped. Let me know if you need anything else. Pretty much, you play too passive, you don't know matchups, and you don't know Twitch's quirks yet. So you don't know when you can win, when you can lose, when you should just back off, when you should go all in. There's a lot of times that I've seen where you can continue to auto and then eventually win the trade, but you're just so scared of taking more damage that you don't even try. Alright, easy peasy. Hopefully that helped you out. If anybody has any replays or questions that they want me to go over, please put your questions in the comments and send your replays to me on my email, forlalekreplays@gmail.com, along with your summoner names and about 3 questions of what you want me to cover. Alright, that's about it. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next episode.